and then these two entities came down. He said they floated, they didn't walk. And then he realized this is not conventional and this is not terrestrial. It's got to be extraterrestrial, because he's looking at these two entities that are very small, you'd say probably 4 foot, with huge heads. Or he thought first they were heads, but as they started getting closer to him, he realized they were helmets. Oh. And they had a breathing apparatus that ran around to tanks on its back.
He said, "Come with me, watchman." And we started moving toward the spacecraft, and it felt like I was walking on air. We got up to the hatch to where you went inside of the spacecraft, and we just sort of like floated up into the first level.
Well, all I know is they floated across the field. Maybe these guys that got me were not human. Maybe they were androids.
Oh.
Well, that's a possibility, definitely.
Yes, that's a possibility, absolutely.
Because
yes.
They did not walk. They floated. Wherever they went, they just floated across the ground.
And I happened to look through the trees, and I saw this vehicle standing just about 60 feet off of the ground. It's like a flying saucer. It had a dome on the top and a platform around, and a couple of persons walked around walking on air.
Both of them
They were each one carrying a kind of a squarish receptacle and a long spoon-like shovel. They dug soil sample extremely quickly, spooning up the dirt, put it in the little satchels, and got back in the craft. He said they moved incredibly fast, like kids coming down a fire escape. And the thing took off. He was absolutely terrified, stunned. He didn't know what he was seeing.
And then almost immediately some type of opening appeared in the end that was toward us, with what I assume would be the front end. And the light that had come outside it was real bright light. And 3 things appeared in the doorway of the craft, and they seemed to just glide out of the craft. They never touched the ground. They seemed to just glide across. It must have been 25 or 30 feet from us, or maybe a little further than that. And they came to us, just glided over to us, and 2 of them took me by the arms from the side.
As the sun's light began to fade, Billy Ray stepped outside to draw water from the well. He saw something shaped like a saucer streak through the sky, trailing a rainbow of colors behind it. It settled down in the woods behind the house. When Lucky Sutton came out to check on his friend's seemingly outrageous claim, the 2 men saw something emerge from the woods. Coming toward them was a glowing 3-foot-tall silver being. Its arms were raised in the air over its head, and it was floating.
And I was being carried out of the house. And these beings have the ability to literally walk through walls, doors, solid objects.
when we saw whatever beings were there. You know, it wasn't like they were just standing and looking at you. You would see them in various places at various times, so you didn't know if it was one, if it was more than one.
He moved kind of strangely, I'd say, almost like a very graceful sort of movement. You know, not like you're stumbling around or anything. You like sort of like glided from while he was walking.
There wasn't any gravitational pull. It was a very fluid. So when he was moving, it was very fluid and flowy, and it wasn't kind of jerky or
The strange thing was it was running in slow motion, as if you would watch a replay in a football match. It was running in slow motion diagonally down the field. And then suddenly it would reappear in the corner where it started and do the same thing. And then it would reappear and do the same thing.
And that was frightening, more frightening than seeing what these things actually were, was not being able to see them long enough, I guess.
They hit the ground running straight toward me, and we floated up to some type of craft.
Once the car was stopped, this bubble transparent canopy tipped up. One of these 3.5-foot beings, you could call them, with this backpack, he levitated and flew out of the craft. He went over to the driver's side door. He opened up the door and got behind the wheel of the vehicle.